Hello YouTube. So that last video I uploaded at the beginning of the week did so good. The subframe overhaul video, I figured there wouldn't be very many views on that because subframe jobs are pretty lame, especially to probably watch. But I guess a lot of people watch that stuff because I gained 130 subscribers after uploading that video, which is pretty dang good for a video that I thought was no one would watch. But I got this car done. I meant to upload that second part of this video a couple days ago, but I ended up just trying to get this car done because yesterday, Saturday, I had an event in Beach Bend and I was going to go there and run on the mobile dyno. Well, they didn't have it this year, of course, but I got to meet a lot of people, E46 guys. I got to meet Spall USA, who makes the manifolds that we sell on B Racing and makes a lot of the other parts. And it was awesome meeting them. Shout out to them for talking to me and recognizing who I was in B Racing tuning. And they love working with us. So guys, make sure you continue to support B Racing and the Spall products we sell, because they are a growing company and they support our ideas for this platform. So that was super exciting. So today I'll go ahead and show you guys the stuff I did record finishing up this job, and hopefully I can get another video out here shortly driving the car and stuff, but it needs an alignment. Let me tell you, this thing was all over the road. I don't exactly know what's going on because I just did toe in on the rear, maxed out the toe in, because usually it's pretty safe just, you know, doing that to be able to just drive the car, but it throws me all over the road, and I'm kind of scared about maybe there's an axle problem. Not sure yet, but I'll show you guys the rest of this work I did, and hope you guys enjoy it. I guess people like subframe content. I didn't know that, but I got no camber in the rear anymore because I actually got adjustable camber arms, so it's pretty sweet. Man, sometimes it's nice just to sit back and stare at your $1,200 BMW that you put way too much money in. But you know, it'll beat an M3 though. All right, well, Tucker, get away, man. Okay, so some of you guys know this, nothing new, but these two bushings here, one of them from factory are just this rubber with the aluminum insert on them, and on M3s they both came with these ball joint style bushings. So if you order new bushings, don't put one of these back in. Also, I just hole sawed these out like I did on the subframe, just different size hole saw. And I just want to show you guys how you can do the ball joint style like the M3s have on both sides. And now I'm going to go ahead and do this trailing arm bushing, and I'll show you the bushings that I have for that. They are from a Camry. Some of you guys might know that. I didn't know that until recently, but you can get ones from a Camry that aren't just rubber, they're spherical, and they're a lot cheaper. I'll try to link all this in the description. But for the diff over here, I got a mess, man. It's raining too. You know, I do all this out in my driveway on jack stands. But yeah, so you gotta deal with the weather sometimes. I welded the diff. Not going to show you guys that because let me just tell you, it's hard to make that look pretty, but that's not the point when you weld a diff, because guess what? No one can see it. You just want to make sure you don't get a bunch of slag in there, and that's why I use this anti-spatter on areas that I wasn't welding. But I got the seams legit garage in here, and then the gasket maker on both sides. That's what they call for. It works great. And then if we go in here, I have the subframe. I ended up just painting it with that tractor enamel. I didn't go through with paintbrush with 415 because this thing was in pretty good shape anyways. Both sides welded, shouldn't have any issues. Also, if anyone needs any pre-facelift steel blue fenders. I have 4 of them, and those 2 up there are nearly perfect. So I'm trying to get rid of some stuff. Man, there's a lot going on. I just cut that out. I know some people cringe, but it doesn't really hurt anything as long as you don't cut that portion, which you'll see here in a minute. I don't know if you guys remember, but I showed this 6-point rear brace a lot of videos ago. I just haven't installed it yet. From DS Works, beautiful piece. And they have instructions here, which I'm going to try to follow. I don't really understand them completely, but it wants me to drill up from under the car and get a hole up here, so around here, and then use a hole saw on that hole and open it up. Only the first sheet of metal though, and they gave you a drill bit to do it, like 10-inch drill bit. So I'm gonna see here. Oh gosh. All right, so this is why you need to watch. If you cut this out, you got to watch this part here, because it's kind of structural. So when you start to cut out this, if you do, I just did it because I like the access, and it's a $1,200 car and I can do it. But if you do it, start from underneath the car and follow this line, and then the rest you can do from inside the trunk. Also, charcoal canister hasn't worked in forever. It's been unhooked forever, so it's all out of here. So these holes here, you gotta drill straight up the middle, but you don't want to hit the threads. I just now found this, and I was like, what is that too? And it wasn't in the instructions. Guessing they came up with this afterwards, after they made the instructions. But I'm showing you this now so you don't do what I did. I had to eyeball and center drill my holes out, the inserts that are under the car, but they give you this so that you can screw this in where your bolt goes and then drill it with this really long drill bit here. And I just found this in my box of all my new parts I was installing, and I already have all that stuff done. So just showing you this right now so that you do not make the mistake that I made if you buy this. So I did the first part. There's your hole. You actually go through a few layers. So I guess that insert that has the threads in it, you got to go through the top of that first, and then you'll go through your trunk. And now I need to use a hole saw and hole saw that out from in here so I can see what I'm doing. Alright, I'm making a video of this because I don't really know if there's many videos out there. So I drilled those out. Looks like dude's picture. And my cat is currently meowing as loud as possible behind me in my house. So you don't have to do this next step, but I'm gonna go feed my cat. Got that one. That was kind of a pain. I have a bunch of junk drill bits. That's something I need to go buy. But it's scary because you don't want to get into the threads. You're going to be using this bolt now. This area here where the shoulder is where your bushing will be. And then this will come all the way up through the trunk. I'm sure some of you guys have installed stuff like this. This will come all the way up through the trunk and through your brace. And that's how you'll bolt that down. So I got these back two done. I still need to grind all the paint off the bottom of the car and weld on the reinforcement plates yet. Thinking about doing that next. Not really looking forward to it right now. This is an interesting view, you know. My car just seems like it's gonna break in half now, but really making it stronger, I guess. So you gotta drill out these little spot welds. There's like a little bracket here. I already did it. You'll see them if you're in here. Drill those out, remove those brackets because you're gonna be cutting in here. The instructions show it. I don't know if I can get to it. Yeah, that's what you're drilling out the spot welds on. So you're gonna use your super long drill bit and drill up on the other two mounts, but you're only going through one layer. You won't see your hole when you get in here. You'll see it once you cut out your rectangle, which there's also a picture of that. Like that. Then you'll see your hole. So you're gonna do the same thing on this, and they give you a long bolt. It's the one with 2 sides on it, because the front subframe mounts have the studs sticking out. So the studs will be the same on the bottom where the bushings go through, but coming up through will be a lot longer because they're going to go all the way through the floor now into your brace. And with that brace, you will still be able to put the back seats in, which is really cool. I am not going to put carpet back in this, probably, as you can tell. Really no reason to. Maybe they'll put the floor carpet in once I get a piece of aluminum and seal that off. Only reason I got rid of this was because, well, I don't use it anyways, and to be honest, I've always just wanted to try it. I've always seen people do it, but I'll put a piece of aluminum in there, and then I'm also going to be able to get to my differential and stuff a lot easier, because the way I welded that diff, it may be coming out again. I don't know. I'm not even going to show you guys that. That is all bolted up, and it's going to be a secret forever until it explodes, I guess. But I'm going to go ahead and go into the car, drill my hole, and then set the brace in here and mark where I have to cut out with an angle grinder. So that's with the brace in there. It looks so good. I love it because you still got your trunk space, which right now, yeah, mine's useless. It's going to connect to your shock towers and all 4 of your mounts. So the threads in the bottom of the car are not going to just hold the frame anymore. It's going to thread into this brace. It's going to really, tighten things up and make one of the weaker points of these cars stronger. So you want to set that in there, and then go back in the car, crawl back in your coupe if you have one, pain in the butt, especially if you're 6'5" or whatever I am. And we're going to want to cut out around here, so this will sit in there. And then once this sits in there, these are flat so that you can put your back seats back in. So should be pretty cool. It's not super fun to install, but then again, I've never really done it, so I don't really know what I'm doing. But that's why I'm making the video, I guess. So after cleaning these up, there are no cracks, and every single one of these I've been on or done, they've been cracked. At least this driver rear one. But this is a later model, it's like 2005, so it has all the spot welds, so I guess those actually do something. None of these cracked. So I'm gonna go ahead and get a bolt in these and hold them in place and weld them on. That's all there is to it. And I'll put a blanket, like a fire blanket, over this gas tank. You can do what you want, but it kind of gets sketch if you don't. Subframe's welded up. If you've ever done that before, it sucks. Holy mess. All right. So subframe's not welded up. The floor is welded up. The subframe's painted and the diff is welded, and these are the bushings I was talking about. They got a part number on here for you guys. Yeah, right here. And they're actually for a Camry, and they're like $30 on Amazon. And you press it in there. The only thing you gotta do, wherever it's at in this mess, this hole right here, you gotta drill the hole out, and you gotta get a bolt, because the bolt these use is 9/16. Stock bolt won't work. It's not a big deal. You just gotta drill this. So I'm gonna go ahead and install this and try it out and see how easy it goes together. None of this really goes together easy. So I did have to use kind of a press tool for this one. All the rest, I hadn't had to use one yet. Not even for these, I just used a socket. But I just pressed it in. There is a gap on each side. You just want to make that even. And this piece here, which is bent, I guess, from pulling the frame or something. I don't know what I did there. But I mean, that's already kind of a snug fit, so that'll fit perfect because these are kind of sprung. That's why when you tighten down the bolt, it sinks them in. But that should fit perfect. But I gotta drill these holes out for a 9/16. So that should work out great. So we're good now. I'm gonna go ahead and install this subframe. Once I install that subframe, I can finish this brace here. I just had to prep it enough for my 4 new bolts that are going to hold the subframe to the car. Subframe's in, and I used a torque wrench, a Pittsburgh one and an Amazon one. So should be close. You know, it's better not using one maybe, unless these fail and we torque her at 100 foot-pounds, strip it out. But those are at 57. The front 2 bushings are at 57. But everything's in. I mean, I am happy with this. I love this diff mount. Look how easy it's gonna be to pull this diff out. It's gonna be, this is awesome. I don't even feel bad for cutting that out. But I have all that in. I gotta hook the e-brake lines up. I got the drive shaft on. I need to check torque specs on drive shaft really quick. But everything else, all these bolts, trailing arm bolts, everything I checked with a torque wrench. But I need to check the drive shaft with torque wrench, and then I'm gonna go up here and finish installing this brace. Okay, so in the car, you can see where I cut these out, and you can see the stud there sticking through. So that's exactly what you want. Both sides are done. That cut's not as nice as that one. I used an angle grinder. If you want to do that really nice, probably use a die grinder or something, maybe a Dremel. You can have more control of it, but this is under the seats. This will hopefully never be seen again, hopefully. But I'm gonna go ahead and put this in, tighten those down, and then there's pieces that go on those strut towers back here, and then I'll show you that, and we're about done with this install. All right, everything lined up perfect. It's a little tight getting in here because it's a pretty far ways down there. I don't know, I'm guessing that would be 57 foot-pounds also on that one, like the one under, I don't know. Not saying that I just got it at 57 or whatever with this, I'm just saying it's probably what it is. Perfect. Gosh. That is awesome. Makes you not even want to put your back seat back in, be a little ricer. That thing fit awesome. Highly recommend one of these. It is a little bit of a job to install, but if you're already planning on doing subframe stuff and you got to remove subframe, you might as well. I need to go ahead and grab the pieces that go from here to here, and this thing will be done. The 6-point brace fits so good. Huge shout out to DS Works. Make sure to buy their products. We sell them on B Racing's website. The fitment was amazing, and when stuff fits right, sometimes it's fun to install, you know? Nothing like spending a lot of money on a part and then it's an absolute nightmare to make fix and you have to modify it yourself. But with DS Works, not the case. Also, I deleted the spare tire bin with this piece of aluminum that I cut out. It was kind of a nightmare to get it to fit right. It's not perfect, but I didn't have to buy the one online for like $100 or $180, which is the same thing. I put riv nuts so I could just put it on with these 4 Allen cap bolts, so then I can remove it quickly. I did not put any silicone under it. I'm going to test and see if I really have to, because I'd like this to be removable and I don't want to have to chisel off silicone every single time, or RTV, because the hole's only right here and it covers all this area, so it might do totally fine. And then also, here's some of the stickers I'll be selling. I got the stuff, just have to make links on the website yet, on B Racing's website, but it will happen one day. But I am super proud of how this turned out. All right, I've been sitting here staring at my BMW for 3 hours straight, and I'm trying to decide if I should park it in the driveway or not, or keep it here because it just looks so good.